The 9 suspects arrested in connection with the murder of Thorisho Themane will appear in the Polokwane Magistrate's Court today.
6 suspects made their first appearance last week, and then 3 more were arrested on Thursday night.
Well, Themane died in an alleged mob killing. The attack was captured on a cell phone and went viral on social media.
Well, Lindo Kushlekhulu has been following that story for us from the beginning. Lindo, good morning. And I mean, a shocker of a story, especially when you consider the age of the suspects in this case as well. What's the latest? What do we know? We know that there were further arrests on Thursday. What do we know about them?
Well, there were further arrests, so we understand from the police minister, Peggy Cele, when he attended the funeral. He said, in fact, they had arrested 3 more suspects, and this brings the tally to 9 suspects. But there is a tricky part to it, because now these were minors that were arrested at first, about 6 of them, and we understand that one of them was indeed a female. But later on, the police minister said that the other 3 suspects were in fact in their 30s. So it brings about a question of, everyone was wondering how these minors would have conducted such a gruesome murder, and they are suspects to that case. But now there is more to it, it seems, than meets the eye than what we initially thought it was. And the addition of the 3 suspects is really something that the police are saying they are looking to investigate in terms of the link between the minors and, of course, those that are in their 30s, the suspects that are in their 30s. But as far as you understand, that is, the new development to the story.
Now, Lindo Kuhle, I mean, this question still begs. I mean, I know you were there on the ground for a few days last week. Is it getting any clearer why Thorisho Themane was targeted?
Unfortunately not, but there are, those rumors around, and a lot of people saying this is what happened, that's what happened, but we haven't yet gotten an official word from the South African Police Services as to what exactly happened. But those rumors, one of them is the fact that they're saying that Thorisho was passing by that park when he was greeted in a rather unfriendly way by these minors, and what we understand from the people that are giving us this information on the ground was that he ignored them, and that is what sparked this. But others saying that these minors are claiming that he had taken his cell phone from them. So it begs the question still, what exactly happened? And the South African Police Services, as much as they say they're investigating, haven't been able to come out and say this is what we're getting, particularly from the statements that might have been made by the suspects that are in custody. But we are still in the dark as to what exactly happened.
Now, just looking at the number of suspects, and we're looking at 9 so far. That's 9 against 1 person, whatever he had done. Are they looking at the possibility of maybe gang-related activities also, that this might be related to some sort of, gang? Yeah.
Very much so, very much so. But the police minister said that they heard about the gangs that are operating in the area, particularly gangs that are formed by minors. So what he said was that they are investigating each and every element. If there is gangsterism, they will be going back to the community to speak to the community, where they will be, understanding exactly what the problem is. But more so, what we got on the ground when we got there, I think, is the fact that there have been a lot of people coming out saying that they've experienced some form of gangsterism. One couple saying to us that a group of minors came to their house at around 10 p.m. at night to say, we want your son, he's taken a cell phone from us. And they will be able to get help from the security in that particular complex. But, there's a lot of these stories that are coming out now, and the police are saying that is exactly what they're investigating, the element of gangsterism. But it seems that it is indeed rife at that particular area. If what is coming out from the ground is anything to go by, what's coming out of the residents there, they have been saying that this is gang-related, and that is one thing they want the police to root out. When they marched, they said that part of their memorandum is to say, if anything like that ever happens, then definitely they would be taking the law into their own hands, which is something the South African Police Services has called against. But at the end of the day, the residents are saying they will not tolerate anything like this anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what was my next question. On the ground, what are people actually saying? They say they're not going to take this anymore. So the risk of the heightened tension that could spill into violence is very high at the moment in that area. Of course, depending on what's going to transpire in court from today.
Very much so. I mean, the police commissioner, provincial police commissioner, actually issued a statement and said that they do not condone any vigilantism, and they're saying that if residents know anything, then they need to work with the police. But it seems that that community has experienced so much and they're fed up by that. But more so, they're saying that, they will also try to boycott the elections, lobby the group to say, we're not going to vote if we do not have a clear understanding of what is going to happen to the perpetrators, what exactly happened on that fateful night, and that the suspects remain in jail and they do not get bail. But that is what they're saying. They're saying, they will be trying by all means to get justice for Thorisho under the hashtag justice for Thorisho.
It's very clear that attitudes on the ground are hardening. Thank you very much, Linda, who has been covering that sad tragedy story involving 9 suspects now, 6 of whom are underage and 3 of whom are said to be in their 30s. We'll find out today when they appear in court in Polokwane exactly who they are and why. Hopefully in the next few days clarify why did they target Thorisho Themane.